If you haven't already noticed, I absolutely love running, and it also just so happens that today is my 22nd birthday. So because I'm me, I've decided that I'm going to celebrate by running 22k, and I'm going to run it over Dartmoor. So it's not going to be an easy 22k, quite possibly the hardest 22k I've ever done actually. Very hilly, and I'm definitely not wearing the right shoes for the job, but it's okay. I thought you might like to come along with me, and while I do it, I'm going to give you 22 things that I've learned about running in my past few years of sort of taking it a bit more seriously. And this is a whole range, so whatever ability you are, hopefully you can get something from this video. And in true YouTube style, I'm going to leave some of the best ones till the end, so you've got to stick around because I've got to run this thing, you just have to sit and watch it. Okay, the route is loaded onto my watch, I'm pretty much ready to go. This is going to be a fun morning, weather's absolutely beautiful for it, and let's go. I will see you at 1 kilometre. Okay, that's kilometre 1 down, and my first thing I think you should do is learn to run easy. And I think it's a common mistake when you start out that you run all of your runs a bit too hard. It's nice to see fast splits, but I've taken some of my best running memories from easy runs, and being able to run easy is so good. Being able to just go out and run like 5 miles or whatever, and it doesn't really touch the sides, it is a pretty good privilege. It means you can run with people and talk to them, you can go and explore new places, and you can do a pretty long run and still be okay for the rest of the day. So I think you should learn to run easy, because that's where a lot of fun running will come from. And number 2, so I've just said to learn to run easy, which is very important, but also maybe if you're taking your running a bit more seriously, enter races. This is definitely something I haven't done a lot of, I want to do more of, because races are a great way to test your fitness. Some of them are more expensive than others, but you get to be around like-minded people, get a fast time, make yourself feel good, and really test yourself, which I think is important in running because it can show you how strong you are. Kilometre 3, gosh, kilometres come a lot quicker than miles. I'm used to working in miles. Okay, third tip is go to a park run. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know I absolutely love park run. I've done about 77. I know I've done 77, I did one yesterday. You know what I was saying about races being expensive, well, park runs are free. 5k free every Saturday all over the country. It's a great way of getting out the door early on a weekend and meeting like-minded people again. The parkrun community is such a cool community, and it's really supportive, whatever pace, whatever age you are. I think it's a really good place to do running, and I look forward to it every Saturday. So yeah, get yourself along to a parkrun. Pretty beautiful place to be running, even if it is really, really warm and quite tough already. Only 3k in, less than 20k to go, right? Are already pretty spectacular, but I'm not even at the top yet. Headed up there into the mist. This is the biggest hill of the entire run, and it comes right at the start, so I'm just trying to really measure my effort and walk a little bit of it, because I don't want to be dead at the end. This is meant to be an enjoyable run, not a tough run, and already I'm bloody well enjoying it. Excellent views, and still going the right way. And that's the 4th kilometre. The slowest and hardest yet, but there we go. What's the 4th tip again? Oh yeah, consume running content, which is, I feel like you're probably doing a decent job of that already, given that you're here. I think it's really good for motivation, consume running content. There's plenty of it out there these days. Instagram, YouTube, wherever. Some is better than others, obviously, but yeah, I'll put up a list of recommended ones right here. Ones that I'll recommend for casual runners or people that like to go a bit faster. Oh, this is actually getting quite tough. Not even 5k in. Okay, now we get a bit more serious. The watch is telling me straight up here. Hope this isn't another JHR dodgy route. I've had a couple of those recently. At least there aren't any landslides yet. And that's the 5th kilometre. Took a while. I need to make sure I'm going the right way. 5th tip, don't let yourself get injured. This is a bit of a new one from me because I was injured earlier this year and it is a right pain in the ass, I can tell you that. Do everything you can to avoid getting injured. And if you do get injured, pay attention to it, don't ignore it and try and run through it. I've reached the top of something, but I don't think it's the top. I am so glad I have my watch right now with the route on it because, so this is Dartmoor, if you don't know, this is Dartmoor, and weather on Dartmoor can change very, very quickly. And as you saw, it was lovely sunshine down in the valley earlier, and up here it is thick mist and fog, really, I guess. And I cannot see probably more than 150 metres in front of me. It's not something to be messed with, and I do very much appreciate that. I don't know which way I'm heading, but I might be heading that way. Okay, this is the actual top. Don't know if you can hear me because it's so windy, but usually don't break views from here, but as you can see, there's not much of anything. These tussocks are really annoying. This is absolutely incredible. It feels like an alien landscape. Wow. That's another kilometre. Front screen of my GoPro isn't turning on, which is worrying, but it's very wet up here, to be fair. This tip links on from the last tip of don't get injured, and a good way to do that, do your strength and conditioning. Get in the gym, lift some weights, strengthen those legs, protect yourself against injury. You'll also find you get to run faster, which is nice. I've found that doing strength work has really improved my running, so yeah. Might be a bit boring, but get in the gym. Don't think you'll be able to even see it on camera, but looming up ahead is the next challenge. This is pretty tough running, as in I'm not running a lot. Okay, there might not actually be a trig point, but there is a flagpole. And luckily, no flag on Dartmoor means you're probably not going to get shot. Windy, and once again, absolutely shit all view. And that's another kilometre down. And this tip is very appropriate for this run. And that is, don't avoid hills. Hills might be a bit annoying, might make your paces slower and not as attractive of a Strava post. However, as they do say, hills pay the bills. You can get a lot stronger from them, improve your running form, and generally get a lot fitter. So whether that's including them in your easy run routes or it's doing designated hill sessions, don't avoid hills. Feet are absolutely soaked, and I'm really wishing that I'd got trail shoes. Tip 8, I think it is, invest in good shoes. As I just said, wish I invested in good trail shoes. That doesn't mean the fastest shoes, I'll come on to that in a bit, but it is worth spending the money to get shoes that fit you right, they're comfortable, and that are appropriate for the kind of running you do. It'll make your running a whole lot more enjoyable, might make you quicker, and definitely less likely to get injured. Oh, to add on from that tip, Asics Gel Cumulus 25, good road shoe, not a good trail shoe. I'm sure this stone circle has some sort of historical importance, can't lie. I have a cool idea where I am, but the watch is saying I'm going in the right way, so guess I just follow that. And just like that, it's another kilometre, another tip. Number 9, oh, thought it'd be more. And this is kind of leads on from the last tip, and that is, am I going the right way? Yeah, that's not the tip, but and that is super shoes aren't necessarily so super. So super shoes, if you don't know, are those super expensive, upwards of 200 quid racing shoes, often with carbon plates in them, that the elites use to run quickly. And it's cool if you've got the money to buy these. It's a very, very cool thing to have. However, I wouldn't waste your money on them unless you know they're going to be worthwhile for you. For a start, they're designed for elites, so they only really come into their own at faster paces. Obviously, you can get them if you want, but they're not going to last as long as they're designed to go fast, and they're not necessarily going to help you if you don't have the right style. And they're just bloody expensive. Very fun to have. So if you want to get them, I'm not going to stop you, but think about it, because I saw someone doing a trail park run yesterday in alpha flies, and I thought it's going to kill the alpha flies. 250 quid sent you down the drain, and running a 26-minute park run isn't really fast enough to get the most out of an alpha fly. But obviously, buy whatever shoe you want. Keep wanting to do scenic shots with the GoPro, but it's basically just the same as you last saw it. Fog, grass, more fog. 10 kilometres. Okay, I'm walking while I do the tips because I'm gonna fall into a bog. Whoa, shit, yeah. Okay, my right foot wasn't wet, it is now. Okay, 10th tip, get a good watch. And this isn't, I guess, essential, but I think if you want to, if you're running regularly, especially if you want to improve your running at all, a running watch really helps. Track it more easily and more accurately. They can be relatively inexpensive. You can get a kind of cheap Garmin for about £135, I think, and you can get second-hand ones. Or maybe you already have like an Apple Watch that does tracking. It's a lot more accurate than your phone, and a lot of watches have things like workouts you can put on there, so you can be guided through intervals and stuff like that. You can put routes on them, as I have, so you don't get lost. I'd be pretty screwed without my watch right now. And if you want a little comparison between Garmin and Coros, which I use, there's a video for that on my channel. Go and check it out. Getting a good running watch will probably up your running game a little bit. I'm ready to be out of this mist. Where did the sun go? It's always sunny on my birthday. Totally fair enough if you don't believe me, but I think I actually know where I am, which is incredible. I think I've actually run this way before. Dare I say I've almost got a view as well. It's getting there. Okay, this part's a bit better. Okay, 11k, halfway through. What was I doing when I was 11 years old? My 11th tip sounds a bit weird, given the tips that I've just said, but equipment isn't everything. Running, they say, is one of the cheapest sports because all you really need is a pair of shoes. You can get quite obsessed with all the stuff and end up spending quite a lot of money, believe me, I know. But equipment really isn't everything. Just getting out there and running really is important. You only really need a good pair of shoes. That's what I say. Don't skimp on. Get a good pair of shoes and yeah, maybe a watch, and you're pretty much set. Don't worry about getting all the fancy clothing. As long as it isn't injuring you, the equipment's fine. Sunlight and views. Fantastic. But I'm only halfway through. I don't feel that tired, but I know as soon as I hit another hill, I'll feel it a bit. That's kilometre 12, and the views have come back. Okay, number 12, leave your headphones at home. This is something that I started doing when I really started enjoying running, and that is just running without headphones. I think a lot of us these days run plugged into something, music, podcast, audiobook, whatever, I think that's good for getting some runs done, and if it helps you run, that's good. But also, I think there's a big importance for leaving the headphones at home, getting attached to the nature, being very present, and just letting yourself think. Like running is a very meditative sport at the best of times, and it can really help you to think through things, or actually I find just not think about anything at all, think about just running, especially if you're out in the open. Running without headphones, I think, is great, and it's also a bit safer because you can hear your surroundings better and you can appreciate the place. But before I get too wishy-washy, just leave your headphones at home once in a while. Okay, the sun's out, less than 10k to go in this run, feeling good. And if you look ahead, I'll put an arrow on screen, but that hill up there is the last hill of this run. Just a kind of little one, well, comparatively little hill. Once we get to the top of that, it's less than 2 miles to the finish. Back on tarmac, it's a bit of a treat. And that's another kilometre gone. And this tip is try different types of running. There's so much to try when it comes to running. Track, road, trail, cross country, fell running, lots of different distances, short track stuff, you know, 1500, 800, 3000, 5 and 10k, some of the most popular. Half marathon, marathon, ultra marathon if you're proper serious, ultra trail marathon, all that kind of stuff. Just give as much of it a go as you want to, because I really like mixing it up. At the moment I'm really into the 5k training, as you might have seen, and like track stuff, and I love that. But we're coming into winter soon and I'm looking forward to the cross country. And as you can see, I love doing fun expedition runs like this, where I'm not caring about my pace or heart rate, I'm just going out and running really for the enjoyment of it. So, you know, try a little bit of everything out, because you never know what you might enjoy. 14k, it's quite nice to tick off some kilometres on the road, and only 8 kilometres to go feels pretty doable. Okay, these next few tips are pretty connected. First one is take it seriously. If you want to get faster at running, you have to put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's worth taking it a bit seriously. Plan your training, do your training even when you don't necessarily want to. You might have to make sacrifices, not drinking as much, getting up early, etc. But if you take it seriously, you probably will see improvements. Running's a quite good sport like that. The more you do it and the better your training is, you'll see progress. Take it seriously. But also, the next tip, number 15, and that is don't take it too seriously. I know I've just said take it seriously, but the main thing really is enjoyment. If you're not pro, and believe me, there are plenty of people out there who will be thinking this is very hypocritical of me to say, but if you're not pro, don't take it too seriously. Still remember to enjoy yourself. You can push yourself, be diligent. At the end of the day, make sure you're enjoying your runs, and remember why you're doing it, rather than just doing it simply for the sake of getting faster. And it's these kind of runs, for me, that help me do that. Okay, 16k, and this is usually where my long runs would stop, albeit they wouldn't be this long time-wise, would have done it a bit quicker, but still got a bit to go, and I'm walking because I'm feeling very, very thirsty all of a sudden, and don't want to totally dehydrate, and as I said, meant to be an enjoyable run. Anyway, this tip is a big one. We're getting into the slightly juicier ones now. Compare yourself to yourself. Do not compare yourself to others, at least not in an unhealthy way. Comparison is a good way to make yourself competitive. Comparing yourself to others that may be similar ability to you can be healthy and make you run better. Don't over compare, don't overthink about it. Don't compare yourself to people that are way out of your league. There's no point. It just won't motivate you. use comparison for motivation, and the best way of doing that is comparing yourself to yourself. Did you run that 5k faster than the last 5k you ran? Good. Doesn't matter if you ran 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 20 minutes. It's all relative, really, and I think you'll get more enjoyment out of comparing yourself in a healthy way rather than a harmful way. Oh, my mouth is dry. Would really like a drink. Forgot to bring my ultra vest down from Newcastle, so gone into this without any water on a hot day, which is maybe a stupid idea, but only 6k to go, although it will be slow if I keep walking. So once I get to the top of this hill, I'll start running again. We can almost say only a park run to go, 17 kilometers down. Okay, what's this tip? Mine's going a little bit now. Running events, that's it. Go to running events. So this isn't necessarily races, or it can be races, but you don't have to be racing. Watch running events. It's great for getting the motivation up. The Olympics has just finished, and you can get some good tips from the pros. You never know, you might get a good opportunity there, you might get to see someone famous, and you'll definitely get a healthy dose of inspiration. So I really like going watching races, especially mass participation races. The vibes there are just always so good, like at the finish, even if you haven't run them. Went to see the Great North 10k recently. Vibes are incredible. Went on my long run, popped in on the finish on my way back, and yeah, good dose of inspiration. Okay, that hill in front of us, that is the final hill. Almost there. That's kilometre 18, the furthest I've run since my injury, which is quite nice. And number 18, also appropriate for this run, is explore. I really like using running to explore places, especially new places. Went to Cornwall a couple of weeks ago, ran around there. Really fun. You can go and visit a park run. You can see all sorts of things that maybe you wouldn't see normally. Don't always just go for the same routes that you usually go for. Just explore, because I think you'll have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, we're into the back end of this, and the next two tips are two of the biggest tips on here. It's a lot steeper than I remember, and all I can think about is a big glass of water. I'm so thirsty. Oh, but the views are already amazing. I came from way back there. It's quite nice to see that kind of progress. Okay, two mega ones coming up here. First one, run with others. And I know it looks a bit weird because I'm not running with anyone at the moment, but as you can see in a lot of my videos, and if you follow me on Strava, I do a lot of my running with other people these days, and it makes it so much more enjoyable. Find friends that run, get your friends to run, have chats on runs. Makes it so much easier if you're doing sessions. Having other people around makes your sessions so much easier. And if you're struggling to get people to run with you, or haven't got any running friends, then the next tip is for you. I remember this bit. Steep, not what you want at 19k. Hey guys, no one's wishing me a happy birthday. Bit rude. Okay, it's literally all downhill for the last couple of kilometres. I cannot wait. Can't wait for a bloody drink. That's what I can't wait for. I know I've been banging on about that, but oh, right. Now to try and engage the quads and run down this hill. That beep means tip 20 kilometres covered. Tip 20, joining on from the other one, find a club, join a club. As many of you know, I joined my uni athletics club this year, and it changed my running, both my enjoyment and my actual running fitness. I absolutely loved it. You find like-minded people. There are loads of great people in the club, all abilities. There are plenty of clubs around. It costs usually about 70 or 80 quid a year to join, and for that you get kind of general coaching, you get running sessions, people to run with, advice. It's really good. I cannot recommend it enough, especially if you want to improve your running, and it helps you get into races as well. So yeah, join a club if you can. Why did I come this way then? 21. 1 more kilometre to go. And this tip is important. Kind of a bit like earlier with the don't take it too seriously. Find your balance. And I must give credit to a lot of my friends and family for this one, because I think I've definitely had times in my running that I haven't been balanced, been too focused on the running often, and kind of sacrifice social things because of it, which you should not do unless you're really, really serious. But get a good balance. Yes, it's good to have discipline with running, but you know, find that balance between training hard and playing hard, because you don't want it to get out of balance and then you will stop enjoying running and not have any social life to enjoy. So yeah, find your balance. 100 metres too short. Let's go down the road a bit. "22 kilometres for 22 years. Okay, last tip. Nice and simple. Won't explain it much. Get out the door. Just get out the door. If you're gonna run, just go and run. It doesn't really matter. You can think about it all you like with what pace, what kind of run, where you're gonna run. Just get out the door and run. That's the most important thing. Enjoy yourself. As long as you're running, it can't be that bad. Thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my birthday. This is a fun run. Go and check it out on Strava. And I don't usually say this, but if you made it this far, go and hit subscribe, because I've just run 22k and it's my birthday. So yeah, click subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Strava, all that. Consider it a birthday present. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.